very excited to get to the Rude Guest Hotline. Welcome in Mr. Darrell Green, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion. Daryl, how are you, man? Thanks for making time for us.
Everything is excellent. Everything is excellent. Am I coming through fine for you guys?
Yeah, we got you, big
Sounds
bro.
Great, man.
Excellent. Great.
Daryl, the Burgundy and Gold has not played this late into the season since you were playing. As somebody that has obviously re-embraced the team and been re-embraced by new ownership, how exciting is this for you to see this team make this kind of playoff run?
Yeah, this is like I think we all feel like we're dreaming, and and we don't want to wake up. But But at the end of the day, I was just thinking about the team today, and that, you know what, I don't think it is like a dream. I think it's been very well, thoughtfully, awakeningly executed. They picked right. Even I humbly say, even when they honored me, I think it endeared them to the city, and I say that humbly. It endeared them back to the city because, of course, I am the city. I love this city. My wife's from here. I think that the moves were very serious. They were very focused. They were true. The people, the coach, all the people, they made decisions that made, like, we're trying to do this. We're not just trying to luck into it. It's not a dream. When you really think about it, man, these guys, they really did. They were doing what they were doing. And the right people. I was just looking at something earlier that, and y'all can answer this for me. This kid, St. Jude, he lost St. Juice, or however it says that. He's not starting anymore, is he?
No.
Mikey.
Well,
especially with Lattimore healthy now.
That, but dude, when I saw that, I thought, that's a conscious team when you move people at different times. You know, people may be hurt or people mad, but no, we're trying to win. And we'll move anybody and do anything we need to do within the context to try to win. And that sounds simple, but when I saw that, I thought, man, these guys are doing everything to try to win football games. They're not trying to be cute, trying to appease anybody, worrying about the media. They are trying to win. And it is exciting. It really is. And, and I'll just shut up here. But for me, I'm just happy for all of us Washingtonian, Washington Metropolitan, DMV fans, because we're human, and we've always loved this city. We've always loved this team. And it's been painful.
Yeah. Look, I'd say the same thing. Like I've said it, you need a delicate mix of veteran guys in the middle of their prime, guys starting off young. And I look at this football team, guys like Bobby Wagner basically was money in my book when I got here. You look at the other guys like a Frankie Louvu, that's you. Then you look at the younger dudes, Andre Collins and myself. You got to have that mix. That's Jaden Daniels and Mikey Sarenstill. When you get that mix and you got guys that are working for one cause, like you just stated, winning football games, good things happen for you.
Man, that's ain't nobody playing no games and tripping. These guys are just trying to win football games. They ain't up their butts and all that stuff. And really, when you think about it, and BMitch being out so long myself, I've given me honors over the years and Hall of Fames and stuff, but man, we were just a bunch of guys. We're not famous, all across the country, all these famous players that played on their teams. But the Joe Gibbs era went to 4 Super Bowls, and man, it's not this famous superstar laden 3 different quarterbacks. It was just a bunch of guys that played hard and were trying to win, loved our team, loved each other, loved our city, and they have tapped into that somehow. I'm not taking credit for them, but we don't want to take their credit, but they tapped into the historic way of old Washington Redskins football, in my humble opinion.
I think that comes from the owners. Let's be real. I've talked to Mitchell Rails a lot. I've talked to Josh Harris, Mark Iron. They were fans of the football of the team then. They watch the things that happen. Then they get a guy like Magic Johnson, who is a winner. You know what I mean?
Nothing but a winner.
And then they bring in Adam Peters and Dan, who they give that message to, and those guys attach themselves at the hip and say, let's go get guys that work like that. They brought 35 new players on this football team. And they've come together. They are closer after a year, not even a full year, than they were over the last 4 years. That says a lot.
And I tell you, you have to pull for them. And I know, listen, there's a lot of people were hurt over the last 20 years for different reasons. And they're like, man, they never coming back. And I've said it from day one when they started to pull me back in. I said, guys, y'all, come on back, y'all. Come on back, please. Please, y'all, come on back, y'all. And now I would imagine a lot of people are probably changing their heart a little bit. But I respect those people because they were spit on and stepped on with some of them that their stories, man. My grandfather, last time I saw him, we was watching Redskin game, man. Man, my daddy, man, we used to go, man. BMitch, I heard every story. I didn't create it. I came into it. Grandmamas, grandfathers, sons, daughters, people, these people, we didn't create it. We just came to it. But I respect that, man. And some of them were so hurt, they left and they said, I'll never come back. And I hope, I really do, for their sake, that they'll come back. And for all of our sake, that they'll come back and that we can get this thing back, man, because we impact this city. Things are better when we're doing great. Morale, people are happier. People can treat people better, be more kinder, speak to one another, have a better conversation at the water faucet, at the grocery store. That's just what it was and is, and it's coming back to be. And it's important to me. It's important. I think that, when we talk about humans, people, and particularly with how blown up on fire we are in America, and particularly in the DC area, political and all that stuff, man, we need to smile again. We need to laugh again. We need to have a sandwich together again, have a Coke together. We need to have fun again. Get it out here in these schools. And, man, we got to get back to where human beings are not robots and not some kind of a weirdos, and that people can laugh and smile again. And that team was the thing that brought that to us. And I want it back. That's what I'm jealous for. For.
I totally agree. My father was a bartender, and I remember being there as a kid, and you'd have plumbers and lawyers and lobbyists and the guy that drives the metro all sitting together just talking about the skins and like money, race, religion. There was no divide because everybody just talked about the burgundy and gold. Yep. We're speaking with Darrell Green here on the Rude Guest Hotline. Of course, Darrell Green, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winner. I just looked this up. 6 career pick sixes. Pretty damn incredible, Daryl.
Oh, he got out in front of my
Well, I couldn't catch that well, so I could have had more. My wife told me that. BMitch, my wife told me after the game, one game, she said, man, you can't catch. And ever since, I told her, I said, you the reason I can't catch. If you didn't tell me that, I might have got better. So, yeah, I couldn't. If six out of 20 years, man, that ain't too many. I should have caught more. If I had Dion's hands and Champ Bailey's hands and who was that, Woodson and them boys could catch, man. D. Green could not catch. I couldn't catch, man. I couldn't. But I knocked it down, though. I knocked it down.
Did you play receiver also, like in high school?
Man, I started football on JV in 11th grade, and I was going both ways. And I told that backup receiver, hey, man, go in. You go in. I didn't want to. I knew. Here's what I knew. I don't know if y'all remember this. It was Charlie Brown, Peanuts, and all. They used to call it Charlie Brown Show. And the guy would be playing baseball, and he could never catch. But I knew that I would get wide open. I know I'm gonna get wide open. I'm gonna outrun this guy, and the ball is gonna be coming, and I'm not gonna catch it. And so I was always nervous about that. But at DB, I knocked the ball down. I made some crazy catches. I just never, and the other thing too, for all you young athletes out there playing sports, I never ever worked on catching. Now that sounds crazy, but when I thought about it, I never worked on catching. I never went through drills where I'm gonna just work on. They did them at camp. I'm talking about where in the off season, I was running, trying to run fast, move my feet. I did all the
I tried
things
to
I
work
needed
out
to
with
do
you
to
one
be
time. I
a
never came back.
but you should have asked me, hey D, let's go catch some balls. You could catch. You should have said, D, hey man, let's stop running, put our clocks down, let's work on catching. But yeah,
Hey,
I
all
never
of us
really
wanted to
tried
be
catch.
fast like you, D. Believe me, we thought that was most important.
Yeah, I should have wanted to catch better, but I didn't. But no, I couldn't catch. But anyway, I didn't cut you off. You said six touchdowns. It was great. That was great. And I had a lot of other punt return touchdowns that got called back though too. So, but I had a lot of touchdowns. But yeah,
and some big ones in big moments certainly. Daryl, I'm curious if you agree with this, man. I have made the argument over especially the last month, 6 weeks, getting to the NFC title game, going deep in the playoffs changes a lot for a lot of people. Like my two daughters are super invested all of a sudden. That never happened prior. When I was a kid, there was a deep love affair between this city and this area and this football team. And largely through the actions of ownership over a 25-year period, that love affair started to dry up. It really did. It has been impacted. I think this city, this team, and specifically Jaden Daniels has how much they love the burgundy and gold.
Yeah, I think, man, the people have to feel like they are important. You have to feel like your decision making, what you say, your comments, your who you bring in, who you cut. They have to feel like you have them in mind. You actually have us as fans in mind when you make these decisions about what you're doing, even though you really are a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's a business. We get that. But that's the magic of it. That can you make these? They're making billions. They'll make billions, but they really, and it's a big billion-dollar company, but it's really for the people, and that's that unique combination of strategic movements that some people just didn't have the ability to do, in my humble opinion. But these guys, as you just said, Josh and Mitch, Magic, Mark, all these guys, they seem like to me they've got something figured out around that. Because man, football, man, you a gazillionaire when you're on a football team. You're a gazillionaire. These guys, it's like, man, you think about the guy down in Dallas. The man is probably to make a gazillion dollars on these guys playing football. But there's something about, even when Dallas has been bad, they still love them because the decisions made and the conversations had and the people that are around there keep them people feeling like we're in it. We love you. Y'all are part of it. It's your team. And that's a strategic, you got to be strategic when you're doing that kind of stuff. And so, and the players, of course, have a lot to do with that. And Jaden Daniels is just an extraordinary young man, just totally extraordinary. I'm not just talking about throwing the football or running. I'm talking about as a human.
Yeah.
And then, as you said before, man, Bobby Wagner is a high-class individual, highly, as a man, highly respected. This young boy, Mike,
Sam,
and he's my mentee, and I can't even say his last name. But he's a high-level guy. Frankie, all these guys, and I'm talking defense myself because I don't really talk offense as much, but these guys are just good, solid guys. Terry McCollum, McLaurin, I called his name at the draft a few years ago. But, they just got good, solid young people. And, man, we should be happy right now. Now, we should be happy because we should be happy, but they should have a stick up there behind to try to get this game won next week. So,
I think happy, also, like
and
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I would say, like, the thing I noticed about them after they went on that road trip when they left Cincinnati and they went straight to Arizona. It made them have to deal with each other. Like, we went away for training camp. If I had a question, I'd come talk to you. I'll talk to Monty. I didn't, you all wouldn't go home because when you're close to home, you're going to the conference. You're not going to a dorm room or a hotel room when you can go to your crib. You know what I mean? And I think that road trip made this team closer. That's why a lot of the success is happening today.
That I totally agree with that. I'm gonna tell y'all my what happened, a story that happened with me. In the early games, you have to go back and look at the schedule, but they was doing really well. And people were asking me about the team, and everybody was all excited. It was early on. I can't remember how many games had been played, but I knew that we had 3 games that were coming up, and they were Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Dallas. And I told everybody, I said, listen, I said, I'm loving what's going on, but I said, call me after Pittsburgh, Philly, and Dallas. That was a succession of games. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh first, Philly, Dallas. We lost all 3. And I said, it just shows you, where we are. But here's what I just realized the other day about what I missed in the equation. Even though I was right, they're not what we think they were at that time, losing to Pittsburgh's real football. That's grown man football. The bus used to run over my behind. That was real football. Philadelphia is your NFC East champion. Most have been high class play team in the multiple, the last few years. So you got to beat Philly, and then the Dallas Cowboys. That's your rival, and that's why I said that. But what I missed, what I'm so excited about is one part that I missed was that doing these steps down these roads, even with those losses, we were actually going to be getting better. I didn't add that to the equation. Mm-hmm. I was just saying today, but I didn't realize that. But we're still going to be growing from that, gaining insight from that, getting better from that, maturing from that, and that's what has happened. I was right. If you want to judge them today at that, calling that today, no, they're not ready for prime time. But prime time wasn't prime time yet. Now it's prime time. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They got those experiences under their belts. So I was right, but I was wrong that they were getting better. And man, it's exciting. It's exciting. But did you understand what I'm saying? At that time, when people were asking me about that, I was like, dude, call me after those 3 games. And bam, man, I got my head down. Man, they not. But dude, those 3 games gave them experiences that they couldn't buy. And now they can take those experiences into these playoff games and make it happen. And I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the experience of all those games. All those games. We lost to Tampa Bay day 1. We lost to Tampa day 1, but day 16, 13, whatever, we beat them. Yeah. And so that was pretty neat. That was pretty neat. So that's kind of been my story this year. And I'm just so proud of them, man, and appreciate them. Thank them for, helping to bring back to our city something so valuable and important. And I don't think, unfortunately, and I'm not mad at them, I don't think half of them really even know. I don't think they really even know. I don't think they truly know. But I think they're learning and they're going to get it. And it's happening. So, as I said before, you can judge them at one day, but you got to keep in mind that they're gaining wisdom from every day. So it's so exciting.
Daryl, last thing for me, what do you think their chances are to win in Philly, go to the Super Bowl?
Oh, man. Well, I tell you right now, as I said before, Philly, you have to beat the champion. So that's, Philly, you have to beat the champion. I mean, you got to beat Philly. You got to beat Kansas City. When teams, they won the East, Kansas City won the whole Super Bowl. Hey, you got to beat them. You got to come and beat me. So I respect that. I respect Philly. I have great respect for Philadelphia they got. They've done it for a long time now. So I got high regard for them. But, boy, I tell you, this young man in the leadership on the offense and the leadership on the defense, the special team, this team is not a team that you want to play around with right now. And so I'm going to say that in my humble opinion, it is no way that you could say we don't belong or we don't have a shot. We got an extraordinary shot at winning this game. And I'm not only just pulling for them, but I believe without a doubt we can win this game. I believe it.
I love it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Daryl, thank you for the time, man.
All the time, man. All the time. You got that. This is my for sure.
Seriously, Daryl, thank you so much, man. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll all be talking in New Orleans in a couple weeks.
Come on now. Come on. I'm going.
Got to speak it into existence, D. That's what I believe, man.
We get this done, I will be there. So y'all check us out. We're going to be there. But let's get this first one done now. This last one done. All right.
Thank you, Daryl. Appreciate the time, man. The legend, Darrell Green. You can follow him at Darrell Green 28 on Twitter, Instagram. He's a great Instagram follow. 7-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame, all 1990s team, in the Hall of Fame in 2008, 2-time Super Bowl champion.
With the win.
And dude, if I had to guess for Daryl, the 96 Walter Payton Man of the Year might be his most important accomplishment. Just knowing,
because they talk about him as a total person,
the type of guy he is. That was simply